It's time to take control of the narrative and delete racial inequality in the workplace.
Hi, my name's Greg Ellison. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Capital International Group, which is a financial services business with headquarters in the Isle of Man and also an office in Cape Town and Johannesburg in South Africa. We're about 160 people across those two centres, and today I'm delighted to be interviewing Luke Adebiyi as part of the Reboot with Super BAMEs, an initiative that allows us to hear from inspiring ethnic minority professionals that are making their mark in the corporate world. And the purpose of these conversations is to help control the narrative, alter perceptions and biases, and ultimately to delete racial inequality in the workplace. So Luke, it's my honour to interview you today, so let's get straight to it. Luke, given your remarkable achievements, can you please bring us in on your journey, who you are, some of your background, what's made you the person that you are today?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Luke Adebiyi and I am the client engagement lead within our business development team at Capital International Group. And I've been in this organisation for about 18 months now. Background on me, I was born in East London. My mum is Irish heritage and my father is half Bayesian heritage and half Nigerian. So I really got involved in this agenda quite a while ago, to be honest, just from my own personal journeys and kind of getting to that point of breaking barriers where I didn't know where I wanted to go in my career. I kind of hit some barriers of continuous interviews and, you know, I really didn't feel, you know, that I was ready for that next role essentially. I didn't have kind of the tools and techniques I needed to really take me to that next level. Which really put me in a position where I must not have been that only individual, and I wanted to kind of share my thoughts and help others within the BAME agenda to help them and help me to get where we needed to be.
Brilliant. And Luke, what inherent practices exist in society today that reinforce racism or systemic discrimination in the workplace, ultimately hindering the progression of ethnic minorities?
Yeah, so probably my top suggestion at the moment would be around actually organisations no longer considering that the tick box exercise. So what I mean by tick box exercise is, say for example with the worldwide movement around Black Lives Matter, for example, an organisation then posting on social media about their backing of the movement, but then actually not pursuing an agenda in it. So, you know, it's actually what are they doing in their organisation to support their BAME colleagues and their BAME clients, for example. Another point would be around actually human resources policies, so making sure that the application process is successful for not just the BAME agenda but the wider diversity agenda, making sure that it's kind of open to all, and actually encouraging your internal colleagues as well to make sure they've got the tools they need to succeed in your organisation, and also giving them those tools to help them to get to that next role. So I think there's quite a lot that still needs to be done within this space.
Okay. And Luke, what 2 or 3 actions should we be taking as a society within the financial services industry in particular?
Yeah, so I think within financial services, there's quite a lot of individuals and organisations across the country and globally, to be honest. And one thing I'm quite keen on is kind of very good mentoring relationships or kind of executive sponsor relationships, which I like to see. So some things I've done before or been involved in is actually having someone at director level where we've taught them about our religion or perhaps a lot of our backgrounds. So say, for example, I talk around what they might celebrate in Nigeria, for example, and almost like a reverse mentorship. So you kind of teach the director about your culture and your background, and they give you the tools and techniques to go for that next role essentially. Another one is actually just having, if you're going to have a workshop in an organisation, for example, you might have a future leader programme. It's making sure that once you have that programme, you actually follow up with those colleagues or that cohort that were involved. So, you know, 12, 18 months following, you need to be sitting down with the colleague's line manager and making sure they keep on going with that conversation, ensuring that they have what they need to succeed. And finally, it's just making sure to keep on having conversations about race in the workplace, and making sure that everyone is aware about the different stories or different barriers they've come across in their career, whether it be inside or outside of work. We're inside work more than we're outside of work these days, so it's just making sure that we're as comfortable as we can be bringing our whole self to work.
And as a super babe, as a leader in your industry, what advice would you give to other ethnic minority professionals that are coming through, and maybe could draw on some of your successes, your experiences, and some of the setbacks that you've had along the way?
Yeah, absolutely. A big thing that's helped me, or something that I would suggest, is having role models. And as part of the agenda, it's making sure that you have those individuals, and it doesn't need to be inside work, it can be outside work as well, that you can really look at what they've done in their previous history, how they've got to where they are, and just really honing in on that to make sure that you can really set yourself up for success. Another thing I'm quite keen on is actually building your network. So whether it be joining a networking group that meets monthly, attending events, virtually, just making sure you get involved as much as you can, and just not necessarily sticking to the day job. I would say, make sure you put yourself up to volunteer, and things like that, really. And probably the final thing that I've really has helped me, to be honest, is making sure we just keep that conversation going. Probably an experience I had probably 6 or 7 years ago was actually I was told to go back to my country to go get because I'm taking all the jobs, and actually, I'm British, so born and bred, so my background is just BAME. So that kind of hit me, and then I've kind of drilled down there, making sure that conversations are flowing more openly about the agenda, and actually that we need diversity to succeed as businesses, as clients, and we need that diverse universe for us to succeed altogether. So it's really just enhancing that and making sure that people understand it more broadly.
Okay, Luke, well, thank you so much. That's been absolutely brilliant to hear your insights and your experiences today. It reminded me when I reached out and headhunted you a couple of years ago, it was the profile that you built in the market. It struck me, I kept seeing you on social media, in various publications, and I thought, this guy's going somewhere and I need to meet him. So I reached out through my network to arrange our initial meeting, and the influence that you've had in this organisation since you joined and on the wider industry in the Isle of Man and further afield has been outstanding. We saw that particularly during lockdown. And I just want to salute you, honour you for your contribution, and as an ally to the diversity agenda in its widest sense, I'm delighted to have this opportunity to speak with you today, and I'm very grateful for everything that you've contributed.
Thanks for having me.
It's time to reboot with superhero Black, Asian and minority ethnic professionals redefining the corporate world.